Anastasia. Alright, I've been waiting to finally get to review this movie for a very long time. Finally get to talk about this one after reviewing Bar Talk the Magnificent, which is kind of a prequel than a sequel to Anastasia. And yeah, I'm aware that poor Angela Lansbury, the same actor from Beauty and the Beast, passed away a long time. But always honor her to be a great voice actor. Anyways, I loved this movie as a kid. I'm here to finally talk about this movie at last. See right there? Right there, because that's what she says in the movie. Anyways, we're going back to Don Bluth's famous movie since 1997. And I do know his last movie was basically Titan A&E, which we won't get to anytime soon, since I haven't talked about the other Don Bluth movies, like All Dogs Go to Heaven, Land Before Time, and most likely American Tail movies. So I'll get to those another time. For now, I'm going to talk about this legendary film that I adored as a kid 20 years ago, this very day. Basically, the story of this movie is about the young version of Anastasia, which takes place in like the 1900s. And she's a young little Russian princess that really loves her family very much, and she really does care for them by heart. It's a very touching opening, and it has like the best opening of the film. But too bad all that. It comes to end with the main villain.
His name was Rasputin. We thought he was a holy man, but he was a fraud. Power man and dangerous.
Played by the legendary Christopher Lloyd. So once again, I review a movie with Christopher Lloyd being awesome, playing the villain. In other words, Rasputin is a sorcerer who wants to take over Russia by destroying the Romanov family. He uses his dark powers to sell his soul to that amulet and send the war for Russia against a family. Luckily, a boy named Dmitri is young enough to save their lives. Risk his life to save them. However, Rasputin was on their tail to notice that they were gonna make their escape. Oh yeah, I forgot about his main sidekick, Bartok, is there. He's kind of a little henchman that doesn't do much in this movie. Also, this is like the story, which is a true story that Rasputin drowned it in the story book. But I guess in this movie, it'll be too easy if he was stuck in there. That he drowns in a watery grave. In this one, Anastasia gets separated from her family, and she starts forgetting who she was. Thanks to Dmitri, is all grown up with his best friend, who's voiced by Kelsey Grammer. And she does play almost like the same character, but play a character named Susie in the sequel of Anastasia. And everybody thinks Anastasia has died, but she's still alive. Where Naimo had to mention Dimitri and a friend will find Anastasia will be reunited with the family and get rich and come true. Yeah, that's her name. That's the same voice actor played Baba Yaga in Long Tongue Magnificent. Yep, and she calls herself Anya in this one, that she wants to be reunited with her family to Paris. She also meets Puka, which she names a cute little puppy dog. And not to mention there's like these songs in this film. They're pretty great. They're wonderful, especially how Anastasia sings. I think it's glorious. I used to play that song so many times because it's one of the best songs I ever heard. It's trying to get on a ticket and on train, but it has no luck on her being broke. She gets an answer of a strange old lady. Dimitri can be assistants, and they try to find who's Anastasia, but no such luck. She finds an abandoned home where she starts to remember her having her once upon a Xmas or dream. It's kind of a reference to Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, when you start seeing the picture, and it looks exactly like her, the one they're looking for. And make sure she can reunite with her family. However, Bartok was there. They're hearing the whole thing. And for some reason that thing sets him to hell or the underworld. And yes, Rasputin is a walking corpse. After that, Dark Force didn't realize she's alive. Yep. Rasputin's an interesting villain. Not much of a drama queen. But still, an interesting bad guy. And he uses that thing. The Dark Forces. It's called. And he gets like the best song called Darker Than Night. I thought it was Christopher Lloyd singing, but it was Jim Cummings. But I don't want to get copyrighted by playing these songs, so let's get to the point. It does act like the Lion King, sort of. Everything go dark and green, and he wants them be destroyed. Anastasia and Dimitri don't have like a relationship for each other. Like, she doesn't like him being all bossy with him. You pretty much know this cliche. They don't like each other, but they have to reunite and have to stay alive to stay together. So Rasputin, since it's his monster minions, needs to destroy in a train with them in it, and then make sure to get out of there alive by jumping the train. Rasputin takes it rather well.
Wow. Take it easy there. You know, sir, really, you should watch your blood pressure. My nephew Izzy just keeled over one day, mid-mango.
I can never forget that Bartok is voiced by Hank Azaria, but you best known him as Moses Black from The Simpsons. Seriously, that's him. He's still pretty funny, though, playing a sidekick. So Dmitri and Vlad, that's his name, and want to make sure they teach Anastasia to be a worthy princess to learn how things work in the world. If she can learn how to do it, she knows how to act precisely well. Make her the perfect princess lady of royaltiness. Give her a beautiful dress.
Now you are dressed for a ball, and you will learn to dance.
Yep. I'd say the animation still looks pretty darn good after 20 years later. Not to mention, like, everything else in part of the movie is a bit 3D CGI, but I have no problem with that. Still looks impressively good. She does remember she had a login when she was a child. She starts to remember her childhood. They have present dreams, but Rasputin has other plans. As he uses his dark, scary smoke creatures to turn to butterflies, and remember Anastasia had a little brother, Margaret, and starts sleepwalking. Remember her family. She could go for a jump. Luckily, Hugo wakes up Dmitri just in time before she meets her watery grave. And turns to nightmare fuel of hell. Luckily, he saved her life. And Rasputin gets angry about it. And he has to do it his own way, which he should have done in the first place. We finally make it to Paris, and we get introduced to Vlad's love interest, Sophia, the one with the blonde hair. Which is her. They explore Paris on how amazingly beautiful it is. That or explain everything to Sophia that if Anastasia reunites with her mother, or they'll get all the money they ever wanted. The side of Paris looks beautifully great. A bunch of dancers, wonderful effects. It looks glorious. And you realize that'll be it.
Yes, princess, I found you at last. No more pretend you'll be gone. That's the end.
Yep, again, and he'll be never reunited with her ever again. Well, that's where he's wrong. That Dmitri had to tell her the truth. So that they're just using her just for the money. And of entertainment of the show. Tries to explain everything to her, but she
She's waiting.
realizes he lied to her. Anastasia's mother doesn't believe him at first. Had to reunite with her, force her to talk to her, gets her the crisis musical box. And just like that, it works. The Anastasia and her grandmother finally reunited at last. Meanwhile, in the clock tower,
Oh, I can teach you the latest step. It starts with like a wolf, and then you get really crazy with it.
Rasputin is still planning a way to get rid of Anastasia, or his sidekick. Bartok has second thoughts.
And we're back to the crushing. Sir, I beg you, please, please forget the girl and dead alive.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Bartok is already starting to be a nice henchman that he should just forget about Anastasia in his own life. So if Anastasia finally reunited with her mother, makes her the main beautiful princess she wants to be. And Dmitri offers the gift he wants. Yep, change of heart. That he just leaves and leaves her be. Yep, he bids her farewell, like they'll never be seen or heard from her again. Saying farewell to his best friend. This is the last time we see Fab, by the way.
Fast as he can. Look at them dots.
Yep, she's happy that she's home at last.
Puka?
She follows Puka and his mage, and Dmitri was gonna give her back a rose. However, she finally meets Rasputin at last. That he didn't want to kill her all this time. He uses his evil power to destroy her. But luckily, Dmitri shows up in the nick of time, but was no match for against his powers. You get to see an awesome fight between him, Puka, against the evil magician. He tried to save her life, but thinks she drowned it. Finally get to an epic fight. Luckily, our Zero Doggy saves the day and destroys his only weakness that keeps him alive.
This is for Dmitri. Give back. This is for my family. And this is for you. Das Vidanya.
And we get to see the most epic death of all time. I mean, holy crap, that's a hardcore way to go. That is the most brutal death scene I ever seen as a kid. That is just a gruesome way for Rasputin to die. They just want to make sure he is definitely dead for sure this time. I've seen most brutal deaths in most Disney movies, but this takes the cake. He is not coming back from that. Anyhow, oh, you already know how the trick. Dimitri lives. Anastasia's happy that they are reunited and are meant to be together forever. And she leaves Paris and be with him. Oh yeah, and the movie comes to end with Bartok getting a female bad girlfriend.
Hello. Wow. I tell you what, wow. Look at that. So long, everybody.
Good for him. And that was Anastasia. The movie. My thoughts about it? It's pretty good. Really good. Despite this movie came out so long ago, it still holds up pretty well. Wonderful voice cast actors, lots of great animation. I used to watch this movie so many times as a kid. Simple storyline, wonderful songs, brilliant animation, beautiful backgrounds. This entire movie is worth watching. That's why I love Anastasia. Yeah, as a kid, and I still love it to this very day. First time I ever saw this, it was one of my most favorite Don Bluth movies, next to, well, basically, I say, wait for it, Robin Hood, because Don Bluth did that one too. So, Anastasia still holds up to this very day on how wonderfully glorious the entire film is. Despite the story book is a basically different one. Sure, the story about how Rasputin drowned it was actually true, and that the story did take place so long ago, in probably the 1890s, where Anastasia was famous to be a member of the Omanot family, and how much she became a beautiful princess. And thanks to Dimitri, they are perfect for each other. Dimitri is kind of like an opposite of Aladdin, being an outcast, and reunite a beautiful princess back home of her family. Was rewarding enough for him that he wouldn't do for all the money, but just the love he triumphant, saving her life. So I love all the cast members, all the simple things about it is a glorious way to end a pretty good Don Bluth movie from 1997. It still holds up to this very day. And Bartok is still one of my favorite characters in this entire movie. With him being the comedy relief character. Or in the end, he just refuses to work with him. Still doesn't explain how he met Rasputin in the first place. But they're the place of Mother Russia. Took place so long ago. Well, it's beyond me. But still, this movie is worth getting for like $10 on Blu-ray or $5 on DVD. Take your pick. You know you'll have a wonderful time rewatching this movie once again on how glorious the animation is. Still would be on my list of favorite animated films of all time. So you'll have a splendid time watching this movie as much as I have. It's a performance of a lifetime. So in other words, it's worth it. So yeah.